Greetings YouTube land. So if you're looking for Destiny 2 beta footage, then you should probably turn this video off. And I'm just looking at the screen right now. I'm trying to download the Destiny 2 beta. It's 25 past 6. It was due to go up at 6 o'clock. And it's just said that it can't download. So I'm just going to tell it to resume. Get on with downloading it so I can play it. So having to wait that'll probably be until tomorrow. So until that time, I did want to put up a video saying what I want from Destiny 2, because I haven't played Destiny, but I have played the beta. So I've played the original game's demo effectively, and even I noticed that there were some things wrong with it. So I wanted to run through a literal list of things that I want to see from this, and it's still having trouble downloading it, but let's continue. So first of all, bosses were bullet sponges. I mean, you fire relentlessly at the target, they take very little damage, and what's worse is they just stand there. And another thing wrong, that makes the fights dull. It was dull. Our games are supposed to be a piece of entertainment. If you can't have fun while playing it, then if it's not interesting, then you're not going to want to do it. So don't make your boss fights dull. Bosses, bullet sponges, bad. Another thing that I noticed in the beta, that the bosses were bigger versions of the smaller regular enemies. That at the end of the beta, there was that massive black sphere of a boss with a maw on the front. It fired occasionally at you. And there were smaller versions of that. I say small, they were probably enormous, but the smaller spheres, they were a lot easier to break, but the boss was just a huge version of them. Even I noticed that, so that was bad. Don't have bosses that are just the same as the smaller enemies but bigger. That bigger is not necessarily better, contrary to popular belief. Clans. Now this is something that I don't have a lot of experience with, but in terms of clans, apparently there was a excuse me, there was a limit of 100 people per clan in the original game. So what I'm hoping is that this game will either massively raise the clan limit, because you look at something like DC Universe or Warframe, they have massive clan limits. Or maybe go for Call of Duty's approach, which is just to use a clan tax so that you can just identify each other. That's all. So they could go either way, but 100 people per clan, not enough. Needs to be higher. Classes. Now, I know that there are differences between the classes: warrior, rogue, mage, or as this game calls it, what is it? Titan, hunter, warlock. But I favour a mage type. I'm usually a support or healer in games. It's the position that I favour. And I was in control of the warlock, and he was just basically a rifleman with like an energy grenade and like a plasma bomb, whatever that thing is he throws as his ultimate. But still a rifleman. I didn't get the sense that he was any different from any other shooter type character. I'm hoping for a little more distinction between classes. Maybe I don't know, maybe like the movement system. All of them had a double jump jetpack. Maybe, I don't know, maybe give the warlock the ability to glide, the hunter class to double jump, and the titan to do a forward slam, or something to make them play differently so they're not all the same. Next, communications. There was no text chat, and voice chat was limited to groups, which made it very difficult to find people to play with. And you've effectively created a quasi FPS MMORPG thing, which is just BS in my sorry. It's I think they know that they knew they'd screwed up the game type a little bit, but even so, communications, they just didn't bother with that. You had to group up with someone before you could ask them whether they wanted to group up with you, you know what I mean? So we need text chat, and we need verbal chat, maybe proximity based chat. Again, Warframe, DC Universe, all these kind of games already do this. It's not rocket science. Enemies. Enemies were a bit samey. the download just failed again. I don't know if it's my connection or if it's the sheer weight of people trying to download it all at once. It was downloading fine, and then all of a sudden I think everybody's realised that 6 o'clock is the time when it becomes available to download. Get downloading, you bugger. So it's not going to, but so everyone suddenly piled in and started to download it at the same time. So now I can't. Great. Where was I? Enemies were a bit samey. Standard types, nothing that we haven't really seen before. Basic rifleman charging towards you. I understand that the DLC, the DLC expansions did expand on the enemy types. There was like one video I saw where one enemy type did something cool by replicating itself. That was actually pretty nifty. But that wasn't the base game. It was the DLC. And yeah, I'm just hoping for a bit more imagination, bit more enemies that have a bit more variety. I'm trying to think of a different word. There isn't one. You know, besides your bog standard types, like the duplicating enemies. That was an interesting addition. Levels. Every time in the beta, certainly, and I understand the other locations were exactly the same. In the beta, every time you said, go to planet Earth, the first thing, the only place you ever landed was someplace I can't pronounce, which from the writing I'm assuming was in Russia? Maybe? Planet Earth, guys. There's a lot more locations we could have chosen. Nothing against Russia, but why only Russia? Why only the Cosmodrome? I think I've got that right, the Cosmodrome, I seem to recall, a long time ago. I'm just hoping for a bit more location variety beyond one location per planet. These planets are huge, guys, seriously. Or randomise the location. Randomise the location, you could do that. Loot. Now, in the beta, I didn't spot this, but in the beta you didn't have weapons or armour that dropped, you had engrams. And you had to take the engrams like digital blueprints or something, and you had to take the engram back to the tower and identify it before you could use it. Now, for example, Diablo 3 has you identify legendary loot. But Destiny, the original Destiny, had you identifying everything, and only once you were back at the tower. And I didn't notice this at first, but because I kept on getting engrams that were dropping green, and they kept on dropping weapons and armour that were green. So I didn't notice there was a problem at first. And then the reviews started coming in and everybody started saying, yeah, if you get an exotic blueprint, it just drops an uncommon. It just drops a green. You get a bunch of oranges and they drop greens and blues, that's all. They don't drop the same rarity as the engram, is my point. You get like exotic weapons, like common, uncommon, rare, very rare, ultra rare, whatever the scale is in that game. And then you have exotics. They just weren't dropping. They just, the right grades just didn't drop. So hopefully they'll just do away with the engrams. Loot rewards from missions apparently were really stupid, and if you want a really good example of this, go look up Angry Joe's video on his Destiny review. Go look up him on the Angry Joe show. And there's a bit where Delrith, I think it's called, is he's playing with two other people. They're trying to down a boss. They finally down it, and Delrith's like, yes, we did it. And then he's got the highest score on the board, number 1, and then the other guys, number 2, number 3, they get like exotics. And he gets shards, whatever that is. Again, I haven't played the game, so I don't know. I only played the beta. Sounds like a manufacturing item? I don't know. But he gets shards, and the other 2, both of them, who didn't do as well as him put together, they both got exotic weapons. He was really pissed. Not surprisingly. So, hopefully they'll fix the loot, is my point. And hopefully we'll be able to customise our appearances. I know that you can put the armour pieces on yourself, but you know, like DC Universe, Diablo, you can change the appearance of certain of your bits of gear. What was the other game I was thinking of? Warframe doesn't. Warframe, you're stuck with whatever appearance, but even then you can customise the colour, you know what I mean? I'm just hoping for more customisation options as far as appearance are concerned. Special powers. Even in the beta, I could spot it was taking forever for the powers to recharge. Jesus Christ. You know, I was expecting, you know how like Mass Effect? In Mass Effect 3, I think it is, they introduced a nifty system whereby you could increase your power recharge rate if you kept your weapons weight down. If you lightened your weapons load, you could hurl your powers more quickly and they recharge faster. And if you loaded up on a lot of guns, loaded up on firepower, it slowed them down. I was kind of expecting something similar with Destiny. Maybe not exactly the same, but I was expecting the Warlock to be able to throw more powers. But no, you have to use guns all the time, and even his powers take ages to recharge. Too long. Too long. Add to that the bullet sponge bosses. Add to that the bullet sponge bosses. Too many people trying to download it, and it was just a real slog trying to get through it. Even in the beta, it was just too damn slow. And as he was known then, the Dinklebot didn't help. Constant stopping to open a door every bloody mission. I haven't actually written the Dinklebot down on here. Of course, I think it's now the Nolan bot, technically, isn't it? I wonder if Nolan North? The guy who voices, what's his name, Nathan Drake. I just hope that the bot isn't overused in a gameplay mechanic. Don't ask us to hack a door every 15 sodding minutes. So, yeah, ton of stuff that I want to see improved, and I would like to see whether it's been improved yet, but I'm still waiting for the beta to download, and it's still not moving. It's literally... let's see. Does that see? Yep. And yeah, it's still not downloading. It just isn't. It's just stationary. It's not doing anything because there's a certain amount of data to start the application. This isn't coming across too well on the video, but oh, there we go. You need data to start the application, and it's a little bit, and then you need the rest of the data, but it isn't downloading at all right now. So yeah, so that's something. Nice, isn't it? Put the camera back on here without breaking it. Okay, a bit impromptu was that. So, yeah, waiting for that to download. Want to see if any of those problems have been resolved. I hope this finishes downloading in like a day, because the beta is only openly available. If you haven't pre-ordered, which I didn't. I don't pre-order unless there's something very specific I wanted. I pre-ordered Tekken 7. I pre-ordered... what's the other thing? I pre-ordered Tekken 7 and I pre-ordered another one. And I've lost it. But I pre-ordered them because... oh, Injustice 2 because of the extra bonus character. That's the only reason I pre-ordered. I'm not pre-ordering this. No reason to. So, yeah, that's me finished ranting. Sorry if you clicked on this video hoping for gameplay, but as you can see, not happening yet. Still waiting. So I will have to wait as well. I'll have to go downstairs and check to see if my internet connection's working. It might be a bit twitchy. Well, it's working on here, so it should be working on there. It's just the weight of people. Everyone suddenly realised at about 20 past that they could download it. Anyway, itchy nose. Lots of lights. So, anyway, I'm going to stop rabbiting on now and wait for this to down. Oh, wait a minute. It suddenly decided to start again. 11 hours left. Hey. Yeah. Hey, has that gone up since last time? It was 12 gig last time. Now it's 13 gig. I wonder if they took the thing, I wonder if they took the download down and then added something to it, because the gigabytes has gone up. It's gone up since last time. It was 12.5 gigabytes. It's gone up. Anyway, there's no need for me to keep on talking. Yeah, the download will be done when it's done. 10 hours. I'll leave it to go overnight, and I'll start playing it, I guess, tomorrow. See you whenever.